Hello, kia ora, and welcome to the University of Otago Bachelor's Degrees 2025 live webinar for international students. Kia ora, my name is Megan Smith.
And kia ora, I'm Victoria McInerney.
And we are delighted to have you here today. Thanks very much for joining us wherever you are in the world. And just a reminder that today our webinar is indeed focused specifically on bachelor degree studies. So in case you were hoping we'd talk about master degrees or other, this is probably not the webinar for you, but you're very welcome to hang with us and listen in any case. We'd also like to thank all of you who have submitted questions already when you registered for the webinar. We'll be answering almost all of those during our presentation content. And most of you probably, if you have got a question up your sleeve, we're probably going to have that covered in the slides today too.
We sure will.
So do hang off asking any live questions till maybe a bit later when we do the live Q&A, and then we'll be very happy to help you through the live Q&A chat function. But today we're very excited because it's not only Victoria and I, we are going to be joined a little bit later by colleagues, including Ash Palin from our admissions office, and two of our current fantastic international students, Pamela and Sid. And they'll be here to join and share with you some of their experiences about being an international student at Otago. Now, Victoria, today's been an exciting day. Today, the University of Otago very proudly launched its new brand. And what that means is, whilst our official name stays the same, the University of Otago, we're really thrilled to introduce to you our new Māori name, Otago Whakaihu Waka, which has a metaphorical meaning of a place of many firsts. This is a special name that's been gifted to us by our local mana whenua, or people, Indigenous people of the land, and it's a really special moment for the university's history. This is the first significant change to our brand in 155 years, so having a beautiful new Māori name is very exciting for us. And in addition, you'll see we have a new symbol within the logo. This is called a tohu, and the symbol here is reflective and inspired from our Otago harbour and the two-way current that flows in and out, which reflects the exchange and the kind of in and out of life and education and sharing of knowledge that our province or region has always been involved in, and for which we welcome you as an international student to join in as well.
You'll also see in the currents, there are 3 lines. They represent the past, the present, and the future. And then there's a macron just on top of the symbol, and that's a waka, which we call it's a canoe. And that symbolises that the majority of students that come to Otago are travelling from around New Zealand and around the world, and then they leave Otago as well, just like you would on a waka leaving the harbour.
So we're really delighted to celebrate and welcome you to the University of Otago's new brand, which was launched today. Okay, moving on, we've got quite the large agenda, so we're going to jump in and crack into it directly. So we'll kickstart with an introduction to New Zealand, Aotearoa. We are a beautiful country of 5 million people. We have 3 official languages, English, Te Reo Māori, our Indigenous language, and in fact, New Zealand Sign Language. Globally, we're ranked very highly in the world across a number of important indicators. We are the 3rd least corrupt country in the world, the 4th safest country in the world, a good one for your parents to know. We're the 4th most gender equal in the world. We're considered one of the most prosperous countries in the world. 11th happiest, it's always a good one.
I think that should be higher.
I think it should too. We're having a good time here. And also we rate well in the Sustainability Competitive Index as well. Now, we are also known for our beautiful Indigenous culture, our Māori people, and many of the values that are shared through that culture are something that you will experience as an international student too. And in particular, we like to refer to manakitanga, which is a value or principle of kindness and hospitality, generosity and support. And those are really important to us as a country and particularly as a university in welcoming you as an international student. It's handy to know that when you consider New Zealand as a study destination, that in fact all 8 universities are very highly ranked in the world. We're also the #1 English-speaking country in the world, and in fact the 3rd in the world overall, for preparing students for the future. We have a world-class education, and we focus on attributes such as critical thinking, hands-on learning, working collaboratively, problem solving, and being creative. In fact, New Zealand is known as being the 2nd best in the world at producing graduates with problem-solving skills, which is really what the world needs. So it's great also to know that research-wise, New Zealand universities offer very good, excellent research opportunities and collaboration with universities around the world. And of a special note, New Zealand was the first country of all to introduce a strict code of practice to ensure the welfare and looking after international students.
Our education too is recognised around the world too. So even coming and doing your Bachelor is a great stepping stone if you want to go and do postgraduate overseas afterwards. Yeah. So where are we? We are in the most beautiful city of Dunedin in the South Island. The 2 main international gateways in New Zealand are our international airports in Auckland and Christchurch. And then we're just a flight, just under an hour's flight from Auckland, under 2 hours from Auckland and 1 hour from Christchurch. So Dunedin is a UNESCO City of Art and Literature, but we're also a student city. And what we mean by a student city means we've got a very strong town-gown relationship where when the university is open and over 25 students arrive to study here, New Zealand statistics says we have the highest number of students people between the ages of 18 and 23 in one area. So it's very condensed. As you can see, 84% of people when surveyed say that they rate their quality of life of good or extremely good. And being a university city, we attract New Zealand's highest concentration of postgraduate qualifications. That's 36% of people have a postgraduate education. All our academic staff must have at least a PhD. Basically, if you live in Dunedin, you either work at the university or you know someone that works at the university. But also living out of a big city, away from a big city, means there are the lower costs of living here. It is a real sort of 15-minute city. You can walk everywhere from the campus into the city, and the flats and living is very, more affordable. But it's a great lifestyle. Being a UNESCO City of Art and Literature, we've got wonderful art festivals, fringe festivals, Fashion ID. We attract international sporting festivals and concerts because of this high concentration of young people. So we're a very temperate climate. You're going to see 4 seasons. Beautiful spring. Those are the Japanese blossom trees that come here. Summertime, you've got to try an ice cream. New Zealand ice cream is the best ice cream in the world.
And over 20 beaches, very close by to us. So lots to choose from for that beach experience.
Definitely. Right now, we're just finishing autumn. That's my favourite season. It's just beautiful with the golds and the reds and the oranges of the trees changing. And then we'll be heading into winter. Of course, Southern Hemisphere is different to the Northern Hemisphere. And you might get to see the wonderful Aurora Australis. You'll get to see wonderful wildlife like the little penguins as well as seals and albatross. And you might even get a little sprinkling of snow.
But just to be clear, that snow doesn't hang around. If we do get snow, it's very exciting. It typically makes national news. And it's all gone later in that day. So the snow we reserve for our mountains where we like to go skiing.
Yeah. So we're a coastal town, absolutely beautiful, compact, as you can see. The university is what we call in North Dunedin and goes right into the city. And the city has museums, art galleries, shops, restaurants, cafes. There's something for everyone. Wonderful big selection of different food outlets. You can see those 2 women are coming through from our airport there, which is about 30 minutes away from the centre of the city.
And a variety of international restaurants and cafes as well,
Definitely.
very much to suit the international students who join us at the university and academics as well.
That's right. And remember, the University of Otago is called after the region of Otago, and we call Central Otago is 3.5 to 4 hours drive away. There you can see that's Wanaka. That's actually one of our colleagues on Roy's Peak, is it? And you could be doing that. So you could be, say, skiing in the morning, kayaking in the afternoon, for example, and you can experience some of the best world famous hikes in the South Island. So there's a lot that you can do that's right on our doorstep. We are the gateway. Dunedin is the gateway into Central Otago. But we're here to talk actually about the University of Otago.
Yes, it's time to get serious, everyone. So let's talk a little bit more about the University of Otago and why you might consider studying with us. So first off, we are New Zealand's first university. We were established in 1869. We have a very proud history, and as of today, a very proud and evolved new brand as well. At Otago, you will be taught by some of our absolutely incredible academics who are nationally recognised and internationally recognised. The university is indeed ranked among the world's top 1% of universities and well respected around the world globally. New Zealand, we are also New Zealand's top university for education performance. We have around 21,000 students and over 2,500 are international, coming from over 90 countries. We offer a large number of study options, a very, very expansive range of courses that you can take with us, and a lot of flexibility to create the degree that suits you. What's really important, of course, are outcomes, and 95% of our graduates go directly into work or onto graduate or further study, so you can be confident of good results. And we have the 5-star plus international quality rating from QS. Other reasons to consider Otago are that we are New Zealand's only true residential university. 86% of our students come from outside of our city, Dunedin. That means they're all moving down, like you would be from overseas, coming together on a campus where their accommodation is all in one place, all together across the one campus. And this creates a fantastic and very unique residential campus environment for you to study, to socialise, and to connect and establish your network. There are over 150 student-led clubs and societies. We have a very high student satisfaction in our student surveys across all indicators. And we have a fantastic, friendly campus watch team who are there to just keep an eye and make sure the campus is thriving, that our staff and our students are feeling safe and happy in a pleasant environment. Now, my favourite ranking, of course, is that we have a really beautiful campus.
Sure
In fact, it's ranked among it's been considered the 5th most beautiful, according to the Times Higher Education Student Voice 22 survey. But truly, there is no other campus like it in New Zealand, or even really within Australia either. This is a stunning campus, and it's a very easy place to come and live and study as a student. Now, rankings are very important to many, and they are a useful indicator of quality, and that is something that Otago offers you. We are currently ranked 206th best in the world out of a field of, I think there's something like 15,000 internationally recognised institutes. We are ranked in the top 50 in a number of subjects, but really great to highlight sports sciences. We are 12th best in the world, anatomy 30th, the MBA online 37th best, dentistry, which by the way, we're the only dentistry school in New Zealand, we're ranked 40th best in the world, and tourism 44th best. But the point here is you'll see a range of subject areas ranked within the top 200 in the world, and what a diversity of subject areas that reflects the breadth and depth of research and academic excellence that is offered by our fantastic academic colleagues in terms of teaching and
taught by experts, that's for sure.
All right, so what can you study at Otago?
Okay, so our bachelor degrees are based on like the British system of the majority of our bachelor degrees are 3 years. We do have the double degree options as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And basically, if you're doing a 3-year bachelor, then usually students will have at least one major subject, and you also take a minor subject. So that just sort of basically allows you to take subjects from across different divisions with your major subject. The academic divisions that we have here are health sciences, science, business, humanities, and then we've got a pathway in English Language Centre, and we're going to deep dive into these a little bit more and talk about the different sort of major subjects. So first off the block, health sciences. So we have a range of wonderful professional programs under our health sciences bachelor's degree. So listed here are the degrees, the professional programs that lead to registration. Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science is a 4-year degree. Pharmacy, 4 years. Physiotherapy, 4 years. Dentistry is 5 years. And we have the oldest and largest medical surgery program, which is 6 years. Now, there is no direct entry from high schools, but I'm going to explain basically how this works. Yeah, and a couple more slides. So also we have the Bachelor of Oral Health, 3 years, and Bachelor of Dental Technology. These are both professional programs that lead to registration, and you can come in straight from high school into these 2 programs. Please note the applications for these 2 programs will open on the 1st of August and close on the 15th of September, and you apply under the health science profession. And then you choose either oral health and dental technology. But please, email us. We'll have our contact details at the end, and we can give you more information on these if you need more information. We also have our 3-year direct entry health science bachelor degrees. Under health sciences, public health is a very popular program. We have biomedical sciences with quite a few different endorsements, and we're the only university in New Zealand to offer the Bachelor of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And there's a real graduate opportunities and a bit of a shortage there in the market for that.
Certainly a strong internationally recognised and sought after degree.
We do, under our Bachelor of Science, also have health-related majors such as genetics, anatomy, human nutrition, and microbiology. So let's go back first of all to if you're wanting to go into one of those professional programs, what is your first step? And we call it at Otago Health Sciences First Year. Think of it as 1 year pre-med, pre-dentistry, pre-pharmacy, physiotherapy, medical laboratory, okay? And basically, so from high school, you will apply for health sciences first year. And we are going to, you get 7 compulsory papers, subjects, that all students will then compete with one another to get into these professional programs. Look, we're not going to spend much time on that because on the 18th of June, we've got a webinar dedicated to undergraduate health science programs. Health science first year, we'll have academics talking as well as students, etc. So lock that one in.
Okay, when it comes to the sciences, Victoria alluded to, of course, sciences relating very much to the health industry, as well as a range of other sciences across the spectrum. And really, there's just so much choice in science. And certainly Otago is a great place to study science. We have both fabulous and excellent laboratories and facilities, but we also have a very natural laboratory right on our doorstep, covering glaciers and mountains and harbours and all sorts of things. So if marine science is of interest, goodness, this is a terrific place to come and study, among many other topics, geography and geology, etc. What's terrific about our science academics is that many of them are actually world leading in their particular discipline. And we also have access to some rather unique field sites for our environmental sciences. We have a lot of flexibility in the science degrees to combine with other subjects, and also in terms of your first year to explore and find exactly where you want to land and where you want to develop and deepen your knowledge. You get a chance as a student studying science to participate and learn in a really strong environment of cutting-edge research projects. And indeed, it's possible to start a science degree both in our February intake and our July intake. It's possible to complete a science degree within 3 years. The entry requirements for our science degrees are very straightforward. Completed upper secondary high school that allows university entrance, plus English language with a minimum IELTS overall score of 6.0. We're going to come back to scholarships and deadlines a little bit later, but it's worth noting that in addition to the Bachelor of Science degree, and under which there are many, many specialisations or majors that you can take, we also have the specialist degree of a Bachelor of Surveying.
Yes.
Which is a 4-year program, and indeed Otago is the only university providing such a program that's actually recognised for the professional surveyors working as a professional surveyor in New Zealand.
Yeah, we don't have a College of Engineering, but we do have surveying, and surveyors must work with engineers when they're developing those bridges, forming tunnels, etc. So there's very, very good graduate opportunities there.
Let's get down to business, as they say.
Let's get down to business. We've got a wonderful Otago School of Business. You can see there some of the majors. Our School of Business is ranked #1 for research in New Zealand. These are the majors that you can see on the left, and we also have some minors that you can take as well.
There's a really handsome person in the photo that I see on that screen. Is that? I feel like we might come to meet that student. It would be really nice. Maybe they could join us on this webinar a little later.
Well spotted. So a typical Bachelor of Commerce is 3 years. Now, what we haven't mentioned is honours, and I know a lot of you in your own countries do have degrees with a bachelor degree with honours. And at Otago, yes, we do. But honours is, we see that as postgrad, so you don't apply for a Bachelor of Commerce in honours until your final year of your degree, for example. I also want to point out that we've got philosophy, politics and economics, PPE, a triple major. We're the only university to have this as a major, and there's not many universities in the world, only very, top universities that do have this major within commerce, and we also have it within arts.
And don't forget tourism. We are extremely highly ranked in tourism.
We are, sure, we certainly are. We're the only university to offer a 3-year Bachelor of Entrepreneurship. Now, this is a fabulous qualification. I'm always, when I'm overseas, I meet students and their parents, and dad says, I want to send my son and daughter overseas to learn business, but we've got our own company, our own business, and I want my child to take over the business in the future. Perfect for this type of scenario. It is a business that focuses on strong links in industry, community, and global economy. And we have startup spaces, innovation organisations, non-profit, social and environmental enterprises.
Right, let's jump into the humanities and arts and social sciences. Again, a real spread of subject offerings, whether it's peace and conflict or languages or teaching or Indigenous studies or the likes of history and so forth. There are over 40 majors that you can choose from. And again, it's a flexible degree where you can kind of combine subjects. We have 2 intakes a year, February and July. And certainly arts graduates do important things, I must say, and they really contribute to society. And the skills that you get from an arts degree are so applicable across many, many sectors. In addition to the Bachelor of Arts, the 3-year Bachelor, we also have the specialist degree, a Bachelor of Teaching. And at the University of Otago, our College of Education has a very long and proud history of producing New Zealand's teachers. And we specialise in early childhood, primary school and secondary school in terms of international student interests for those tracks. Now, it's worth noting that there is a higher English language requirement to get into the Bachelor of Teaching. And also this has a selective limited place admission process, so you will be competing to secure a place in that particular program. And again, a special deadline. That program has an earlier deadline of 30th of August. Now, we also have the Bachelor of Laws. We have a very prestigious law school here at Otago. The laws degree is 4 years. And again, this program is interesting because anyone can have a go at the first year of the laws program, and then you compete to move on to into the formal second year third and fourth year of the degree program. Now, what's nice about Otago is we also offer you the opportunity to do a combined degree. So you may be very interested in majors from our arts and commerce. Well, you can take a combined degree and achieve that in 4 years with a major from the arts and a major from commerce, or a Bachelor of Arts and Science, or a Bachelor of Commerce and Science. So this is a great way for those of you with kind of broad interests and you want to combine 2 degrees quickly to achieve that with 2 majors across a combined degree. The other lovely thing about Otago is we are partners with many, many universities around the world, giving you, as an international student here at Otago, the opportunity to further globalise your degree by studying a semester or 2 at one of our partner universities. And a global exchange, a student exchange, is a very enriching opportunity. So you can have a degree from the University of Otago, but perhaps with 1 semester from University of Copenhagen, or a 1 semester at the University of Toronto in Canada, for instance. So that's a handy tip for you to further globalise your bachelor degree. That applies to most of our programs.
Yes.
Right.
So we get a lot of questions asking, what's it like to study at the university? It's very different to high school. So this is a good example of the lectures. In your first year, they could be quite large lectures, but by your second and third, as you're starting to specialise, they do come down in size. So you usually have maybe 2 lectures a week, and then you have tutorials as part of that paper, that unit module. So these tutorials allow you to have smaller group sessions to discuss the lectures that have taken place with either a tutor, which could be your lecturer, or senior students. Also, as Megan also pointed out with sciences or social sciences, you do get the experience to go out in the field. We've got amazing facilities from our own ship for marine science, surveying, wonderful archaeology sites, etc. We might have beautiful old buildings, but we've got state-of-the-art facilities as well. This is the Mellow Labs that you can see. You can see students are all learning with iPads. Basically, this is the most modern sort of laboratories that you can get.
Right, scholarships. Many of you are joining us today to learn about those opportunities, and we're going to jump right in. So, international students who are offshore, we offer a new and enhanced suite of scholarships for 2025. First off, we have the Vice-Chancellor Scholarship for International Students. This is for those of you coming for a full bachelor degree, starting in either semester, February or July. It's worth 10,000 New Zealand dollars off the first year of your tuition. There are unlimited offers for this, which effectively almost means most students will be able to receive one of these. Now, in order to apply for this, you must, during your application process for studies at Otago, actively reply yes when asked the question, would you like to be considered for international scholarships? And that's all it takes for that one. Next up, we are delighted to introduce the new University of Otago Global Scholarship. This is applicable to students from particular countries or citizenships who will join us for full bachelor degree programs in 25 or 26. Now, the current list of eligible countries are as above: China, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. Now, the value of this scholarship is $15,000 off your first year of tuition, and again, there are unlimited offers. Again, there is an active application, which is simply when you're applying through our application system for the studies or to receive an admission offer, you will be prompted with a question. Would you like to be considered for international scholarships? Yes, would be your answer. And that's all it takes for that one. Now, please note, it is not possible to have both a Vice-Chancellor International Scholarship and a global scholarship. So if you're from one of the countries listed in this slide, this would be the scholarship you would be seeking to receive. We are also very excited to introduce the new University of Otago International Academic Excellence Scholarship. This is for high-achieving international students who have studied offshore and who will be joining us for a full bachelor degree, again, starting in 25 or 26. Now, the value of this scholarship is approximately 35,000 New Zealand dollars, which comprises of covering your first year of accommodation, and then in your second year, $7,000 scholarship off tuition, and in your third year, a further $7,000 off your tuition, subject to you completing a certain GPA level to maintain that. Now, this, of course, is a competitive selection scholarship, and it requires you to complete additional application questions, and that will be assessed by a panel. What is exciting is that it is possible to hold both a global scholarship and the International Academic Excellence, or a Vice-Chancellor and the International Academic Excellence scholarships, which means that potentially, if you are a high-achieving academic student, you could potentially receive a total combined scholarship, 2 scholarships of a total combined value reaching up to 50,000 New Zealand dollars.
Wow, so you can double dip, as they say.
You can double dip if you are a
Wow.
high-achieving international student, if you are selected into this one here. So that's pretty exciting and encouraging. So the big question is, well, what's a high achiever? Typically, this refers to the top 1 to 5% of achievers of the applicants. And more broadly, we would probably typically be expecting at least to see a GPA equivalent of 80% or an A- at least, but there may be other circumstances that contribute to the overall picture. So how do you apply for this one? Well, you'll recall the earlier steps of ticking yes when asked if you'd like to be considered for a scholarship. So what happens is a little bit after that, once you receive an admission offer, and you'll either be offered a Vice-Chancellor scholarship or a global scholarship, if you are eligible, you will then be asked to accept that scholarship, and the answer there would be, I accept, and then you will be prompted and invited. Would you like to apply for the International Academic Excellence Scholarship? At which point, if you consider yourself a high achiever, you would say yes, and that will prompt you and take you through to a series of 3 key questions, asking for a little bit more information about your academic leadership, community involvement, and the opportunity to add any additional relevant information. And that will be considered by a panel. The panel will be meeting on a regular basis, and those results will come out a little later. So hopefully that makes sense, but gosh, what an opportunity in terms of scholarships at that level. Now, we're also excited to share that we have another new scholarship, which is the International Partner Scholarships. And this is applicable to international students who are applying to Otago through one of our established articulation agreements. That is, whereby you're studying your degree at another university and there is an agreement for you to transfer into our degree program to complete the degree. And in that case, you need to complete at least 4 semesters with us. And if so, you are able to be considered for this scholarship worth $10,000 off your first year of tuition at Otago. Again, answer yes if asked, would you like to be considered for an international scholarship? Okie dokie, in case we've got any new students who are already here in New Zealand, in a New Zealand high school or New Zealand foundation program, you also have access to a range of scholarships through our Otago undergraduate entrance scholarships. You must actively apply in a specific application period, 1st of July to 15th of August. This is the same process as your domestic students in your class. It's one single application and you'll be considered for a range of scholarships, and they value anywhere from 10K to 35,000 as well. That's just for the New Zealand students in a New Zealand high school or New Zealand foundation program.
Fantastic.
Now, lastly, there are the Manaaki New Zealand scholarships, and these are government-funded full scholarships. Often they are largely focused on postgraduate study, but there are some countries that are eligible to apply for bachelor degrees and potentially be considered for a full scholarship. So it's worth having a look at the Manaaki Scholarship webpage, but please note they only have one application each year, and that's in February for the following academic year. So you've just missed for 25, but you could start planning for 26. Last of all, in case we have any US students on the line, the University of Otago is an approved institute for the US government loans, or FAFSA, and so that's something worth considering as well. Now, tuition fees. Tuition fees vary very much depending on the program that you are looking to apply for. Our foundation and diploma programs that we haven't talked about in this particular webinar, but that just gives you an indication there. But the main point was our undergraduate bachelor degrees. So for most of our degrees, the range of tuition is anywhere from around 35,000 New Zealand dollars per year up to about 43,000 New Zealand dollars per year. Typically the humanities and business are kind of in that 37,000 bracket, and the sciences and health sciences more toward that 43, depending on the particular major and indeed the particular modules or courses that you take within your degree.
The professional programs like medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, physiotherapy, medlab sci are more than 43,000.
That is true. Okie dokie.
Right.
How do we apply?
Very easy. Okay, so we've got the 4 steps there, and we've also got that QR code too. First of all, I want to let you know, no application fee. Woohoo! So what you're going to do is go onto our website, our brand new website of the logos, and you're going to check your entrance requirements under future students and international. You're going to select your program that you would like to study, and then you'll see an apply now big yellow button. Click on that, and that's going to take you through to what we call eVision, or your student portal. Basically, you log in, you create your own account, and that's going to be your student portal. You then complete the application, and you just follow the steps and the questions as they come up. You're going to upload your documents, your ID, a passport, etc., as well as your transcripts. If you're going to use an education consultant, get them certified or make sure they're from your high school letterhead. And then basically you submit. There are some programs that might ask for extra documents, but that will lead you through the application process.
Now, in case you're an education consultant on the line with us this afternoon, just a reminder that you would log into your agent portal to start a new application, and that you will need to create an eVision account for your student. Always use the student's email address, please. Always. That really helps everyone and everything at all points in the process. And again, complete and submit the application. Yes. I think that's it. That's that. Right. So the New Zealand academic year, semester 1 kicks off in 25. Now we're in New Zealand, so we start in our summer, which is in February. So the key date really is that the 16th of February is when you want to be here, ready for the orientation week and start of studies in late February, the 24th of February, whereas semester 2 has a start in July, which is our winter. And you finish up in November for that semester. There is a summer school there, but that's largely intended for our current students who are looking to catch up or take an extra paper in the summer. So here is the big takeaway. When should you apply? You should apply starting now, today, the 1st of May. We have opened applications for 2025 today. And in the main, most programs have a deadline of 15th of November for studies starting in February next year. However, there are a handful of programs with an earlier deadline or special application date. So please remember, if you're interested in applying for the Bachelor of Teaching, you need to do that before the end of August. And if you're interested in applying for the Bachelor of Oral Health or Dental Technology, you need to do that before 15th of September.
So plenty of time to get your official transcripts before you apply.
Applying early is always fantastic. You get your offer, you can start planning for all of your costs and logistics and just make the whole process smoother. Righty-ho, undergraduate academic entry requirements. In order to get into the University of Otago and a bachelor degree, in the main, this will depend a little bit on which education system and country in which you have studied, but effectively we need completed upper secondary school studies that would allow you into university level. And we also accept the following international qualifications, which is the IB diploma. You'll note that it's a relatively low score, so 24 is a minimum, and the A-levels with your top 3 subjects with at least a total combined number of 8. or indeed an approved foundation studies certificate. Now, sometimes we get the question, why only 24 for the IB, or that seems low, but that reflects the philosophy of New Zealand's education and indeed the university, which is education is for everybody and everyone should have the opportunity to prove themselves. So we do like to have the door open to allow everyone to prove themselves and access education.
That's right. For those programs that are competitive, we would expect higher scores, but we'll talk about that in more detail, especially in the health sciences webinar.
When it comes to English, most bachelor degree programs require an IELTS overall score of 6.0 with no band under 5.5. However, 2 of our programs do have a higher level requirement as listed there, social work and teaching requiring a 7. And in case you don't meet these entry requirements, it's okay. We have options for you. 1, you can join our University of Otago Foundation Studies certificate in order to boost your academic qualification, which will allow entrance into the university. Or in case you just missed university entrance, just off, you can access our new Otago University diplomas. These are a level 5 New Zealand qualification. We have a diploma in arts, a diploma in commerce, and a diploma in science. And these are for sort of near miss university entrance students, where you have an intense 1 year to cover some preparatory and first year papers, and a successful completion allows you to directly enter the second year of the Bachelor, so we don't lose any time. We also have English language studies available to help boost your English language proficiency and get you access into the university. And there are scholarships for these studies as well. Okay, it's time to bring in our guest, and a warm welcome, Ash. Ash is from our admissions office, and we are very happy to have you join us today. We get a lot of questions about admission, and we are going to address some of those together with you. So thank you for joining. So first question, Ash, we're looking to address some common application questions. And the first one is, what are some top tips for my application?
The first thing would be to apply early. The sooner you submit an application to us, the sooner that we can start processing and make sure that you have all the documents that we need in order to get you your offer. That's sort of the central thing. Yeah.
Early start, people, and you can already apply today. So that's a great first tip. This is another common question we receive. I haven't got my IELTS test. Can I still apply, or do I have to wait before I apply?
You can apply without English language proficiency scores already. We'll request them from you after you apply, but as long as you get them to us prior to the deadline, it isn't a problem. It's more important to have your identity documentation and hopefully your high school results.
And people can receive a conditional offer until such time as they get their IELTS, is that right?
Yes, we issue a conditional offer, which means that once we receive your final results, we'll be able to issue with the final offer that allows you entry immediately.
Perfect. All right, the favorite question of our education consultants and our students, how long should I have to wait for an admission offer? What's the turnaround time?
Okay, so it depends on whether you've applied with all of your documents. If you have, then it should be pretty much immediately, within a week. When it comes to if you haven't supplied your IELTS scores or have other documentation that you still need to supply, then we won't be able to issue your final offer until after you've already given that to us, which we will request through your eVision portal. And once you supply that documentation, once again, it would be at most a week before you should expect an offer.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, what happens after I've submitted an application? What's happening at your end? What's going on?
So we receive it, we look over all of the information that you've put into the required fields, and we request any information that you haven't already supplied. If you have tertiary study, you need to input those details into that section, otherwise it will hold up the process. Then we look at your qualification firstly, and we want to make sure that it is up to the standards that we have, it meets requirements. then your identity documentation matches with whatever your high school or tertiary documents are, and then your English proficiency. And once we've seen that you meet all those requirements, you're ready for an offer.
Great. So this is another good question because Otago offers so many different programs. How many programs can people apply for in one application?
You can apply for up to 3 different bachelor's programs, but each of those programs would have to, so you can't apply for a Bachelor of Science with one set of majors and then also another Bachelor of Science with a different set of majors. It would have to be different programs.
Okay. So you could apply for a Bachelor of Science with microbiology as a major. If you wanted to also apply for a Bachelor of Science with genetics as a major, can you do that?
No, not
Just
at that
tick
stage,
one degree
unless you want to double major at the
Okay.
same time.
So it comes down to the degree program. You can apply for up to 3 different degree programs, but just choose one major in that application.
Yeah.
But you can change the major later on, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, what about if you do choose, say, a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Commerce? Do you have to prioritize and indicate I prefer this one, or?
Because the entry requirements for those programs are the same, we would be able to issue you with an offer for both, and at that point you would decide which one you want to continue with.
Great, so you can receive several offers back.
Yes.
Good. Now, this is a favorite one. You mentioned identification document before, and sometimes we do get asked, why do I have to certify my passport? What's this about? Why can't I just scan it, upload it, and be done with it?
Well, when you apply, you can, essentially, but in order for you to be enrolled officially as a student, you have to be ticked off on a system which is called the National Student Index, which includes every student studying in New Zealand. And our admissions team has to put your name forward for that. And to do that, we have to certify officially that you are who you say you are. And it's a government regulation. So we're not following our own rules. It's something that the government has set up for us.
So is it the case that you can get an offer by simply scanning and uploading your passport? Because you want that information, and I think it's important so that the offer letter name matches exactly with the passport.
Yes.
That's first step. But it's helpful if you already certify it when you upload it. Is that right? It saves us a bit of time later.
Yes, so you can have a complete offer without having certified identity documents, but that means that you aren't fully enrolled yet. You can enroll once you arrive on campus. It's something that happens during International Orientation Week. So if you aren't able to certify your identity documents prior to entering New Zealand, you have that option to do it once you get here.
Great. All right, do I need to apply for a scholarship? Can I apply for more than one? Well, I could take that one because, yes, you do need to actively apply for a scholarship for 25 and onward. But for some of those scholarships, it's as simple as click yes to the question, would you like to be considered for an international scholarship? And that's it. That's all that's needed for Vice Chancellor Scholarship, the Global Scholarship, and the Partner Scholarship. There is an additional application for the high achieving scholarships. But again, it's all pretty straightforward. Can I apply for more than one? Well, by saying yes, you will be considered for all relevant scholarships and then invited to apply for something else as necessary. In terms of receiving or holding more than one scholarship, it is possible with the High Achiever plus the Global or the High Achiever plus the Vice Chancellor. Right, now we're running a little bit tight on time here, so we're going to really just summarize accommodation very briefly. The University of Otago has one of the best accommodation offerings in the country. We have 15 residential colleges. This is more than just a dormitory. This is an experience. Our residential colleges are very much run by the university, and this is where you will find your people. You're sort of become an alumni of a residential college, but they've got character and atmosphere and a proud tradition and history. And each college has an amazing set of facilities. So it's a private bedroom, usually a shared bathroom facility on your floor, but private cubicles.
We do have rooms with their own bathroom.
There we go.
Free laundry. Your room's clean for you once a week, 3 cooked meals a day, 7 days a week.
Female-only floors if you need. Often a college animal, pet-friendly animal, and a stack of events.
And tutorials. We're the only university in New Zealand that our residential colleges have tutorials where senior students or academics come in the evenings and teach the large first-year papers.
So if you're coming to Otago for a bachelor, applying for a residential college is simply a must. There's just a small taste test, but there's plenty more to see on another opportunity. So we're going to skip over applying for accommodation. It's a little bit early for that today at the second, but we do want to touch on cost of living because it's important to be upfront and think about your costs. And effectively, in New Zealand dollars, you should be planning for around about 26,000 New Zealand dollars to budget your accommodation in a residential college, plus your additional costs. And of course, there are, of course, opportunities to find private accommodation separately if you wish, but we really do recommend the college experience. As an international student studying in New Zealand, you also have work rights, allowing you to work part-time if you're in a full degree situation.
20 hours a week.
And full-time in the holidays. And on the completion of your degree, as it stands, you have access to up to 3 years post-study work rights to stay on and work and get New Zealand work experience too. There's a lot we could say on campus and student support, and we're just going to show you imagery to give you a feeling of the old and the new, feeling of the beautiful campus, such a range of student support services across academic, health and well-being, and general kind of support. Huge number of clubs and societies and fun things like the student-run organisation with $4 lunches, free breakfasts, even a sauna. There are excellent libraries at the university with specialist librarians who can support you through your studies. And we have a one-stop shop called Ask Otago where you can drop in with any kind of a question and they'll help point you in the right direction. Campus Watch, Unipol Fitness, fantastic facilities. And indeed, it's important to feel welcome here. And indeed, Otago is an inclusive university with a range of services and support for everyone. You're very welcome here. Our students are really involved. They like to volunteer. They like to give back to our community. And of course, as we mentioned right at the start, we have really good graduate outcomes. So we're going to jump straight now into some of our visiting student panel members. You can, of course, connect with current international students at Otago through our UniBuddy student chat function, if you would like. But we can also hear from them live in person and right now. And I am delighted to welcome Pamela to the camera. Welcome, Pamela.
Thank you, everyone.
We'd love to hear your experience at Otago.
So my name is Pamela, and I'm originally from Taiwan. And I came to Dunedin to study at Otago Girls High School in 2020. So I had a bit experience studying here in New Zealand. So I chose to study in Dunedin after I graduated, and I'm now a second-year primary teaching student.
Excellent. So why did you choose Otago?
So I had experience in short-term exchange in 2016, and that's how I knew Otago University, and I found it's such a historical and beautiful university, and I love here. And I went back to Taiwan. Obviously, I missed here, and that's why I came back here again in 2020. The reason of choosing Otago University is that it provides a really excellent facilities like gym, library, and other student support. Obviously, I go to gym every day. Hopefully, that's my goal. And then I went to residential hall. It's a great thing to choose residential hall, so you make friends there. So the first picture of us dressing like some ball gowns is that we had a ball at our residential hall, and I went to Caroline Furman College, which was a great one. It's really important that you join some clubs just to step out of your comfort zone and to expand your social network. And I'm in the Taiwanese Student Association as well as Cancer Society, and I'm the president of Cancer Society. And yeah, you make friends through all of these. So you can go to like your friend's flat to catch up, like residential hall, and then yeah. So the top tips.
Top tips. Yeah, Pamela, let's hear your top tips.
So just remember you're an adult now. So you're gonna do your laundry yourself, you're gonna cook yourself, you're gonna do everything by yourself. And it's about your time management because you might be frustrated and stressed out with your due date, but do not do it like last minute. And there is one I put down drink and play sensibly. What I mean is that you might find a lot of your friends or like people from your cohort, they love to party, but you do not have to do it. For example, myself, I'm fighting with another 3 great friends. We do not drink, we do not party. It's just you don't have to force yourself into that kind of situation. And remember to take a rest. Like it could be quite challenging for us as international students to study overseas, but just, find friends, hang out and have a rest. And do not hesitate to ask questions and seek for help. Otago University provides a wide range of student support you can go for, like literacy, the writing support, or anything like note taking, for example. And yeah, go to your lectures and tutorials. Do not miss them because you're gonna stress out. And yeah, step out of your comfort zone because that's all about you coming like overseas and experience. Yeah.
Excellent. Great set of tips from you, Pamela, and thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're going to be joined by Sid, who looks vaguely familiar from a previous photo shoot slide that we saw. Welcome, Sid. Thank you for joining
All right,
us.
thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Sid. So I'm from Malaysia and I came to the University of Otago last year in 2023. I'm currently an international student ambassador for the university as well. And I study energy science and technology as well as environmental management under the Bachelor of Science. Yeah.
Excellent. And your journey at Otago, share with us why you chose Otago.
Yeah, so I had always been interested in studying environmental sciences, and New Zealand as a country is known for having such good programs for environmental sciences. So naturally, I chose the University of Otago, one of the best universities here. And yeah, one of the best things about studying here at the University of Otago would definitely be the people and the friends that I've met and made here. I would definitely say that the friends I made here would be lifelong friends, just amazing people. And the amount of clubs and societies that are available here at the university are just plentiful. I've joined so many clubs and associations, and I've also become an exec member this year at the Otago Malaysian Student Association. And the student support here at the university is great as well. Yeah, and some things I wish I knew before coming here would definitely be how to cope with some obstacles, because when you're here alone as an international student, naturally you would have to face them alone. So that's something I wish I knew, as well as budgeting and yeah, and just missing family because you're here alone as an international student. So there are times you would feel down and alone, but yeah, just a phone call away. Yeah.
And here we've got some very cool footage of you, Sid, because you've been making a bit of content for the university, haven't you? So do you want to highlight anything in particular from here? I guess this is day in a life kind of stuff. Monday vlog, there we go.
Yeah, these are just videos I've taken over the course of my study here, and it's just little pictures and videos of me on what I do on a daily basis here, basically. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Sid, I think you mentioned that you in fact watched one of these
Yes,
webinars.
that's true. In 2022, before joining the University of Otago, I actually attended one of these webinars. And yeah,
And here you are sitting presenting.
exactly, yeah.
It's very cool. So that could be you out there.
Yeah.
Now, Sid, you've also put together top tips. What have you got here for us?
So some of the top tips that I put on here would to definitely be to get organized. Time management is a key component when you're studying at university, because there are times when you can fall behind on lectures and tutorials. So definitely manage your time well and keep your studies as your top priority. And when you first get here, definitely attend as many orientation events as you can. Those are a good way to meet new people, new students, new international students, and make new friends, basically. And definitely develop good study habits. Try and develop like a regular study habit that works for you. It might differ for each person, but try and be consistent with how you study. And another one would be seek support early. As international students, sometimes we struggle with our studies, and that's fine, everyone does. The university offers a lot of help. So what I did last year in first year, I got help. There's this support program called PASS, where it's essentially a student from third year or fourth year helping new students with subjects they would be struggling in. And definitely stay active and healthy, go exercise, go out, hang out with friends. That's a good way to get your mind off of studies. And yeah, just get involved with all the activities that Otago has to offer.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like both Pamela and Sid, you shared important tips. And I always think the most important is always ask for help.
Yeah.
People are
definitely,
very willing to help at the University of Otago. And if you want to kind of get a glimpse of other parts of student life here, you're welcome to follow our Instagram international account. You might see Sid or Pamela and many other students on there.
Nothing's photoshopped.
And it's made by the students, so that's all good. And now we move into our live Q&A. We're running a little bit late today, but that's okay. We have got some questions and we are going to address those as best we can. So we are...
Should we take the first one?
Okay. Is foundation year a must for international students before a bachelor's program? No, indeed. Most or many international students can enter directly from their completed upper secondary high school studies straight into our bachelor degree programs from a large number of countries. That's completely fine and normal. However, there are some countries where we don't recognise the secondary school qualification as being on par with the New Zealand system, and that would be an example where we would encourage you to join our foundation studies program. And there are also circumstances where a student might feel that, yep, they got the university entrance, but would like a year to adjust or just get a bit more confident being taught in English if that's a new opportunity for them. And then that can be another scenario where a foundation studies program might be suitable. But for a large number of students from many of our main markets, you can come straight into a bachelor.
Someone's asked, is there an age limit to study at Otago? No, there's not. We don't discriminate against age.
No, however, if you are under the age of 18 when you start at Otago, there are some additional sort of support services and kind of like accommodation requirements to make sure that you are well looked after, and that falls within our New Zealand Education Code of Practice. So we have special additional things to support you in those early phases.
Got a student that's actually studying in New Zealand and wants to know when should they or when are they able to apply for any program at Otago University while they're studying, doing their NCEA in New Zealand?
That's great. And Ash can back me up on this, but they could already apply today.
Yeah, as of today, you can apply for 2025 study, so as soon as you want.
And they'll be able to get a conditional offer because, of course, they won't have their final NCEA results until mid-January, but they can get a conditional offer.
Yeah, you'll get a conditional offer if you submit your application, and then when NCEA results are released in next January, we'll be able to issue you with your final offer.
It's also helpful for that particular student to know that please feel welcome to go ahead and apply today. But what's really important is that you apply for accommodation and for the New Zealand University Otago entrance scholarships in the very specific application periods. And that kickstarts around 1st of July to mid-August for scholarships, and in 1st of August to mid-September for the residential colleges. It's vital that you apply in those time cycles as a New Zealand-based student.
As a native speaking English speaker, is it necessary to take an English proficiency test?
No. If you declare on your application that English is your first language, we will take that as proof of English language proficiency. So you won't need to provide further results.
Righty-ho. Do we... Yeah. We're just landing on the questions. Now, this is a good one for Sid and Pamela to join into. What are the challenges faced by international students, and how they're asking how quick do we, the university, attend to problems? So maybe you've had some experience, or you know of friends who've maybe had some challenges and they've been able to reach out to services, or would you have any comment on that? I'm not sure.
For the most part, the university attends to like our problems pretty quickly. It's just an email away, basically. You just email the either Ask Otago or OUSA support, and they pretty much reply to you within the day or the next couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same as said. Like that's like Otago University will always like emphasize on our feelings because we're like the international students. We might need more support. And did we talk about how like what kind of challenge we had?
Oh, but it'd be helpful to share. Yeah.
I feel like one thing is that I might feel a little bit excluded, but actually I feel that people here are really friendly. Most of them, I would say. So just really step up your comfort zone, talk to them, approach to them. They will always like do not feel like scared that your English is not good enough or like you have accent. Like we're not native English speaker. We will have accent. Like they won't care about it. So just, just approach them and talk to them. Yeah.
I think from a university perspective, it's important to understand that there really is both a range and varying levels of service available to you. So whether that's within your accommodation, there is academic and pastoral care support, whether it's talking to your department for academic support or reaching out to the student peer-to-peer support services that offer tutoring, like the writing skills one or the math skills one, or the library services, or if you're just frankly homesick or something's happened back home, we have a specialist international student support team. Those advisors are very well placed to take confidential conversations and help support you through those moments as well. And indeed a visa specialist service as well. So there's a variety of services across, no matter whether it's your studies, accommodation, or day-to-day life, and levels that can support you. Okay, so we've got one more question, I think, which is, what is the success rate of applications for a bachelor's program? Well, Ash, that's pretty high in the main. As long as you meet university entrance, you should be able to get a place here at Otago. We'd like to welcome you here. There's just a handful of bachelor programs that have a limited entry, such as the Bachelor of Teaching. Well done, Pamela. The Bachelor of Oral Health, the Bachelor of Dental Technology, and then there are some programs later on where you have to compete for a place. But in the main, we're very open and keen to welcome you to join us and to start your tertiary education journey at the University of Otago. Okay, so we have come to an end, and we thank you very much for sitting with us for the duration or watching this as a recording. We very much welcome you here to the University of Otago with our new Māori name, Otago Whakaihi Waka. It's really a pleasure to have you. Thank you to our panel members today for joining us, and feel welcome to apply. We've opened for applications today. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.